Had a patient of mine who I did a deep planed face and neck lift on. This is a lovely lady who's in her late 40s who was unhappy with the appearance of her neck and face and wanted to get a fresher look. Today we're really focusing on her neck. We notice in her photos, her pre-op photos, she's got some banding in the neck here. She doesn't really have a lot of good definition of her neck. You can see she's got a little bit of jowling along the border of her jaw. There's more of a crisp transition between this part of the neck and this part of the neck. We call this the cervical-mental angle. And what the youthful neck has is a really well-defined crease there. And it's one of the harder things to create. And that's where I think the deep plane approach to the neck is really helpful, because you're not relying purely on tightening skin. You're moving muscle with the skin at the same time. So I think because of that, that gives us a better way to really define that crease. That's the first thing. The other thing is it allows us to address some of the deeper structures that could add to aging in the neck, such as the fat. In this patient, she didn't really have a lot of fat under the skin, but she had more fat between the platysma muscle, the very superficial muscle of the neck, and the deeper part of the chin here, like right in here. And by reducing some of that fat, which really can only be approached through a surgical approach. Liposuction is not going to address that. That has to be exposed surgically. By addressing that, now we've made this part a little thinner, and that will just enhance the formation of this nice crease. So if we look at her side view, you can see she has a much more defined neck. And the other thing that you can see in her after photo, especially from the side, or it's a subtle aspect of neck aesthetics, but it's very important. And that's this little shadowing along the border of the jawbone. The youthful neck typically has more of that shadowing that you could see, where her upper picture, there's no real definition between her mid-face, her lower face, and the neck. It just kind of runs into each other. But as you see in the after photo, now there's a clear definition between her lower face and her neck, and that really is a good sign of a youthful neck.